Hello everybody, it is Friday and I've just found out it's Friday the 13th. So they call out in bingo, lucky for some. So let's go with that. So I want to talk about the sixth dimension, the sixth aspect of ourselves. Where in my video before talking about the five koshas, I obviously left out the level of soul and the number of man is 6, not 5. So let's go to the level of soul, which is the last aspect of ourselves. We have an internal soul. And I want to talk about the what they call the temptation of Christ. This conversation between Satan and Jesus. And I was wrong what I said yesterday, that it was conversation between the outer two rings of the koshas. Please, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please watch my video before. I was wrong. That is not actually what that is. It is the physical challenging the soul. And it is the physical that holds the key to the second ring. And the physical is challenging the soul to see whether it is ready to enter into the second ring, into the fullness of the second ring, which is, I say, our energy body, which is knowing this world on the level of energy. We are already in the second ring. You know, so is nature, so is everything. Animals are in the second ring where they sense things coming. They have a knowing coming from that ring. So have we, if we listen to ourselves. But what happened in that story is that the second ring was unlocked completely in its entirety. So what does Paul say? Where you no longer see through a glass darkly, but you see the fullness of it. And that is what that story was. It was the unlocking of the second ring, the doorway into it. So, first of all, I just want to say the church will tell you that Jesus obviously overcame Satan, yeah? He overcame the desire for the riches of this world, yeah? He didn't want money, he didn't want power, he didn't want big palaces, he did not want the riches of this world. Those are actually not of this world. Money, power, palaces, they're not of this world. They are our creation. They are not. They are what we have put down as riches and what we have created. They are not of this world. And if you go into the Jewish teachings, when they talk about worlds, they talk about the inanimate, the rock, you know, the solid rock and stuff like that. They talk about the plant life as the next level. They talk about the animals, and here we actually still use the word kingdom. The animal kingdom. And then the speaking level, which is the level that we are on. Those are the riches of this world. Those are the kingdoms of this world. Of course, the church will tell you, no, it's actually physical riches. Yeah? And then the next thing that the church does is it tells you should really reject the physical riches. You know, give it all away, preferably to us, because we will relieve you of that burden. Yeah? So, no. That is not what it's talking about. That is not the kingdoms. So, I want to go into the story, and here I will switch between Matthew, and Luke, because some parts of it are a lot clearer in Luke, what he's actually saying, or what the devil is actually saying. Yeah? So, 3 challenges. He was set 3 challenges. After fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was set 3 challenges. And the first one, and this is out of Matthew, he says, And when the tempter came to him, he said, "If thou be the Son of God, command these stones to be made bread." And that is obviously a temptation on the physical level, on the need of the body, because he was hungry after 40 days, I would say. And then Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God." So that was overcoming the first challenge. And then the second challenge was, "Then the devil taketh him upon the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and says unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against the stone." And the answer to that from Jesus was, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God." Right. So that was overcoming the second challenge. And then again, first of all, let's just look where he took him. He took him to the pinnacle of the temple. Again, this is a Jewish text, this is Jewish thinking. The temple is the place of learning, is a place of knowledge. So the devil took him to the pinnacle of his knowledge, to the totality of his knowledge, and that knowledge is Torah. In Jewish thinking, that is Torah. That is what the knowledge that is in the temple is Torah. And he challenged him, honestly, on Torah. So that is a challenge on the level of knowledge. So then, and we switch to Luke now, because the third challenge is a bit clearer there, and what Satan says about himself. Yeah? So, and here's the third one. And now he takes him into a mountain. That is interesting. Into. We're going inward. Yeah? Which is, again, a higher knowledge than the pinnacle. A mountain is higher than the temple. And then he showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. That is also interesting. Time had stopped. Jesus saw it all in one moment of time. And that is said, the kingdoms are not what we have built, but the kingdoms of nature on a different level. We are in the second ring now. So, right, so he shows him all of that. And the devil said upon him, "All this power I will give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomever I will give it, and to whomever I will, I give it." The knowledge is contained in the physical, and you need to go through the physical, because the physical is holding the key into the second ring. And it is challenging you. It is the physical that is challenging you. And then Satan says, "If thou therefore will worship me, at all shall be thine." And Jesus answered and said unto him, "Get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shall thou serve. And him only shalt thou serve." And there he had overcome the third challenge. And the door was unlocked. Jesus did receive the knowledge of the kingdoms of this world, because in his miracles and walking on water and everything that he did, he had that knowledge. It is the knowledge of the second ring. It was given to him. So the church will tell you, first of all, that Jesus overcame the challenges. Yes, he did. And secondly, that he rejected the riches, the kingdoms of this world. And no, He did not. He received them. The door was unlocked for him. And there's one last thing I want to talk about, and that is that what happened in the story is specific to Jesus. It does not apply to all of us. The challenges that were said, Jesus had a desire, and that desire was for that kingdom, and the desire was that he would serve in that kingdom. And the desire is that he would become according to that kingdom. He would change himself. That's what he did. And that is a change on the level of soul, changing the soul. If the soul is a harp with 6 strings, you're recalibrating the strings to play a different tune. That is what he was going to do. And there is actually no right or wrong in that. It's your soul. It's your life. You know, the soul will create another life out of what it has become. And you will experience what you have become. So again, be careful what you wish for. The devil did not actually challenge that. He did not challenge the desire. He did not challenge the place that Jesus was going to build out of his desire. He challenged none of that. What he was trying to find out was whether Jesus was steadfast enough in his desire to hold on to that in the second ring. Had he become an I am to withstand the knowledge of the second ring? That is what he was testing him on. So to say Jesus' answers were correct, they were correct according to his desire, according to his understanding. They were not universally correct, just according to what he was, according to that desire, they were correct. And he held steadfast to his desire. And that is what opened the door. So this has implications for us. Because do we need to be the desire of Jesus to unlock that door into the fullness of the knowledge of the second ring? That's the first question. Or can we be our own desire as long as we're steadfast in it and we overcome the temptations and we hold steadfast to our desire, we become an I am in that desire? Will that unlock the door? And I think it will. There is no judgment of the desire itself, only whether you're ready or not. So that's the first thing. We do not have to become Jesus and be his desire. In fact, to me, becoming a servant and doing what I'm told in a kingdom where something is ruling over me, that wouldn't be my desire. That was his. And good luck with that. So that's the first thing. We're being challenged on our desires, and our desires can be whatever they want. The second thing, I think, is that you will create. If you go onto that level, you will create a change on the level of soul. And then you will become the reflection again of that change. The physical body will become the reflection of that change. As above, so below. You're changing above to create below. I think as long as we're on the physical level and in the second ring only as far as we can see, as far as it will serve the physical, the soul remains the watcher. It is not actually affected by what is happening here. But once we enter into the second ring, we affect ourselves on the level of soul. We're changing our soul. And then again, are you ready to actually do that? The physical is challenging you. It is holding you back, but it is for your own good. And let's face it, if you can't get it together on a physical level, should you actually attempt to do it on a higher level? you know, well, I can't get my shit together here, but here, give me more power and it will be fine. I don't think, sorry, I don't think that is how it works. So, I want to talk more about these effects that I believe it has on our soul and how we're actually changing our soul. Because you would tell me that, you know, the soul is unchanging and eternal and nothing will ever affect it. But I will talk about that in another video. Anyway, I leave it at that for now. So the interpretation of the church, again, is because they're driving you into thinking, you know, Jesus was challenged to get the riches of this world, as in gold, silver, cars, mansions. That is not what it was talking about. But it serves the church that you have that view because, as I said, the church, a lot of churches are very eager to relieve you of that terrible burden of the riches of this world. And what the church teaches, first of all, that Jesus was, that Jesus overcame Satan. Yes, he did. That he did not receive of Satan. No, he absolutely did. He did receive the riches of this world, and he used them to transform himself on the level of soul, and that is what I will talk about in the next video, to see what that means for us individually, because we do not have to go on that path. We do not have to have that desire. Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.